It'd been a few weeks since I moved out here to Elk Mountain, Wyoming. Since then, I'd gotten a truck, built a small chicken coop, and had gotten 40 chickens. And although 40 chickens was a good start, it surely wasn't going to pay my bills. The good news for me at the moment, though, is I really didn't have any bills. I'd been living off the land for a few years now, and having that experience had helped me adjust to living out of a van here in Wyoming. Problem was, my old way of living off the land required me to be around people, helping them out for money or just simply getting by on their generosity at times. There had been many days where I hadn't seen anybody out here. Nobody drives by, nobody stops in, nobody even interacts with me. Now, don't get me wrong, these people are great out here, and if I went to town, there'd be a ton of smiley faces and how are yous and all that other stuff. These people are friendly, but I've moved into a town where I don't know anyone. And lately, I'd been trying to change that. I would eat breakfast at a local diner a couple times a week, and through getting to know them, I'd been able to find an eventual place to sell my 20 meat birds. I didn't have any eggs yet, but the owner said she'd buy them when they started laying, and that time couldn't happen soon enough. As far as today, I had a busy enough schedule. First thing I needed to do was call Clearwater and get a windrower and a baler delivered. I had to finish up on this field to get the grass off it, and hopefully we'd be able to sell some bales to make some money. After all, I was going to need it. I still needed to buy a bigger barn for these chickens and a garage for my future equipment, and most importantly, a place to park my truck. Because, as you know, Wyoming gets pretty cold in the winter, and it gets even colder when you're living out of a van. So I really wanted to get down to the contractors today and talk to them about my options for putting them both up. Like I said, it's going to be a busy day. And there you go, all fed and all watered. And it's going to be great if we can get a water tank or something so that we can go to the lake nearby and fill up some water, because these girls are a pain. Right now I'm just filling up water jugs at gas stations and things like that, and then giving them the water from it. So but it's costing me a fortune to go to town all the time, so I'm hoping that we can get some big bags in here on the farm, and that's another reason why the garage is going to be important. Anyway, let me make a call over here to Clearwater and see if I can get a windrower and a baler up here this morning.
Good morning, Clearwater Motors.
Good morning, Frank. It's Hurd. How you doing today?
Always a good day on this side of the ground, my friend. What type of trouble are you getting into today?
Well, I was wondering if you could drop off a windrower and a baler to me today.
I sure can. And hey, say, have you thought anything more about that tractor?
Yeah, I want to keep renting it here for the short term if that's okay, but I did want to get down there to see you and see if you guys had any kind of sales, because my thing is I need a hydraulic lift so I can move bigger bags of feed around, and this tractor doesn't really have that. So I'm hoping to be able to buy a tractor off you, but I'm not sure if this is the one that I want to go with.
All right, no worries, no worries. I know renting has to be getting expensive, and I just wanted to remind you that we do have some lease-to-own options down here as well.
All right. Well, I have a little bit of a busy one today, but if I have time, I'm going to get down there and stop and talk to you.
All right, no worries, Fred, no worries. I'm not pushing. I'm just trying to help out.
All right. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. And thanks for the delivery today, too. Soon I will be done with this field, I think.
All right. Have a good one, Hurd.
All right, now we are going to head on down to the contractors because I definitely want to talk to him about a bigger chicken coop and about a garage. But Clearwater Motors, Frank, he's always a really big help down there, and I definitely want to buy that tractor from him. But, you know, as I was saying, there's really no arms on that thing, and hydraulics is going to be a must. So, you know, we're not going to be able to pick up bigger bags of feed and things like that with this tractor that we're renting right now. And honestly, it's something that I needed to order if I wanted to make it as a chicken farmer. So I think that we are probably going to have to pass on the tractor that we're renting. And the tractor is going to be a big purchase for this farm, obviously, and getting the wrong one could be, a very big mistake on our behalf. So I definitely want to do the research on it and, get all of the ducks in a row, as they say. But the longer I take to research this, the longer I have to rent that tractor. And to Frank's point, it's getting expensive. It is available for a while, and I can continue to rent it, but I'm really not seeing any positives to continuing it. We're getting no closer to owning one ourselves. But between the barn and the garage and now us needing to buy a tractor, I'm likely going to be on payment plans for all of them. And because of that, I'm definitely not going to have enough money to continue renting this tractor for the long haul. And I'm not going to have enough money to purchase all three. So it all comes down to money. And it specifically always comes down to how I never have any. It might come down to me doing a few jobs in town, to be honest, for people, like I always have. I've done this for a couple of years now. Or I could, just get a traditional job somewhere, part-time, I guess, until I can flip some birds in a friendly way. Not the way I was used to receiving them back in... Well, we're not going to talk about that. As they always say, time's going to tell. So we are going to get down to the contractors, and we are going to discuss our options, because I'm really anxious to figure out what our options are, especially since it's cold here, and I'm going to be living, it looks like, in my truck that's going to be parked in a garage. And I'm hoping that that is going to be enough, because this is not Louisiana. Let's say that. It is actually the furthest point opposite of Louisiana. We are in Wyoming, and it does get cold. So I would like to find out my options, and I'm very anxious to do so. So as I said, I'm going to put this down, and I'll pick it up when we get there. All right, so we are here at the contractors, and as I said, very interested to speak with him about our choices, and I'm really nervous as well, because I'm not sure how we are going to afford this. And I don't know, I think the garage is a need for sure, but so are the chickens, because we have to make some money. Decisions, but let's see how bad the damage is going to be in here first before we decide anything, because I'm really hoping that they have some payment plans. I'm sure they probably do. I'm really hoping that they have some payment plans.
Hey there, how can I help you?
Well, I just got a piece of land about 20 minutes away, and I was looking to start a chicken farm. The problem is I don't have any buildings right now on the property, and I really need a garage and an industrial-sized coop, both.
Sure, I can help you with that. Yeah, we build everything on site, of course, but we make sure everything is good here in the studio before we send our guys out there to build. And from the sounds of it, we can help you. We've actually built a few farms from scratch in the area, so we are familiar with these sorts of needs.
Oh, all right, great. Well, that's excellent news. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because my funds are a bit limited at the moment. So I might be able to get either one or the other, and eventually I will get the other, but I might only have enough for one, is what I'm saying. And that's assuming that I could probably get a loan from a bank.
Well, no need for that. See, we have a 2-year no-interest payment plan here, where you can just pay off the balance as you go. So by 2 years, you should have a considerable amount either paid off, or presumably you'll be making some profits from the buildings, and you'll be able to start affording a payment plan from there on it.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway. So yeah, I think a chicken coop is probably the thing we need most.
All right, well, let me show you what we got. I'll show you a couple, and then we can narrow it down from there. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, well, first we have this smaller coop. Now, yes, it's smaller, but it's a bit more affordable. We have it listed at $25,000, and it can hold about 80 chickens. Now, this has a smaller capacity for the birds, but again, it's cheaper, and it could help you get started in chickens.
Yeah, I have 40 birds right now, and this would definitely double the capacity of that. And it's, as you said, it's not the most expensive, but I have to be honest, I'm kind of looking for something with a lot more capacity. I don't really think I can make enough money off 80 birds, and this is kind of what I want to do full time, so I'll definitely need something bigger. But the issue for me is, can I afford a bigger one? Because if I get one that's too small, I'm not going to be able to pay anyone back, and that's no good for anybody. So I'd really like to try to get a bigger one.
Well, we definitely make them bigger, and this one right here is the biggest one that we have. Now it's 85,000, but it will be more than enough to carry your needs. It'll hold about 2,000 birds, which is bigger than I think that you could probably ever do alone, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I hope. Maybe I'll be able to get some help, but yeah, that's something that would more than fill my capacity wise, and I'm not really sure if I can afford it though. It's 80,000, and to be honest, this is something I'm not really sure I can swing.
The cost, right. So you can still put 20,000 down and you'll be able to have us build it. And again, we do have the 2-year interest-free lease, and if you were to get that many chickens, it might help put a dent in that payment.
Ah, you're right. It's a lot to consider. How long will both take to build?
Oh, we build fast. Probably a month with our full team on it for the bigger one, but the smaller one we could have done in probably about a week.
All right. Well, look, I have some driving to do in my field, so let me think this over when I do that, and let me come back to you, because I will for sure get one of them, but I'm not really sure if I want to build a smaller coop and ease into this, or if I just want to go all out in the very beginning, roll the dice, take some chances, and, potentially be able to pay you off sooner.
Well, with options and stakes like that, I would encourage you to think about it a little bit and see what's best for you. Then give me a ring again and we can figure everything out.
All right, well, look, this has been extremely informative. You've been very helpful. I really appreciate it. And, I'm going to be in touch soon.
All right, sir. Well, thanks for stopping by. And, we can get started as soon as you let us know.
All right, like I said, that's going to be soon. And, again, thank you for everything. All right, and that should do it right there. 3 bags of feed, and I'm going to be very happy when we don't have to come down here to the Tractor Supply anymore. And don't get me wrong, they're great people, but buying these bags, these smaller bags, very, very painful to my wallet. So I would really like to get bigger bags delivered, and that's really a decision for the tractor because, yeah, they'll deliver to us and they will get it off the truck. That's not a problem, but we are going to have to move this feed into a barn. We're going to have to move this feed around. So I would really prefer a tractor with hydraulics. So there is a lot to consider here today. We've got that, and we've also got the building to think about. The smaller barn will allow us to make profit faster, but we'll make profit a lot slower. It's $25,000. I can just outright pay that and not get on a payment program over there, which I think is great that they offer, but it's just another cloud over our head in terms of, bills and things like that. So it's got its positives. But then when I think about the bigger one, I know that we'll be able to get chickens because buying chickens is not really that expensive. It's the infrastructure that's involved, and especially for us, since we're really going from just a field and trying to build a chicken farm, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. Farming in general is very expensive, but I just don't think that 80 birds is going to be enough. I don't think that that's going to be enough to make money, as opposed to 2,000 birds. And again, the birds are not the problem. That's not going to cost us a lot of money because, that's not the expense. The expense is the barn. So I have to make a decision between that, and I also have to make a decision today about the tractor. And I didn't even talk to the contractor about anything for our van. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. We might end up just renting a place for the winter, or I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out. But Either way, let's get back, and we hopefully have from Clearwater the baler and the windrower that's sitting there. We'll be able to windrow, think some more to ourselves. That's always a great time to think. And yeah, we'll get some stuff done today because we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot of decisions to make. It's a busy day here on the farm. And now just getting back to the land, and I see that Clearwater has come, left it in their usual spot, right over there by the tractor. That's one good thing about nobody being out here. Nobody to steal anything. But either way, what are you going to do? How are you going to steal that? How are you going to conceal that thing? Either way, let's park this up. I will unload the bags of feed here in a minute, but let's get over there and check out the stuff because I want to windrow. I know we've got to do the windrowing today, and I know that we have to do the baling today. And together, that is a full day. And that's all before 5, hopefully, because I would like to get down and talk to Clearwater about a tractor because we're going to need a bigger one, and we're probably, again, going to need a payment plan. Either way. This baler here, we got the Massey 1840. And that's going to put out some small square bales, but they're going to be easy for us to pick up. So, again, I need hydraulic lift on a tractor. We can make bigger round bales. But then we've got the Sam's, I'm just going to call it the Sam, windrower here. And that's big. For that tractor that we've got, that is pretty big. But either way, I think it's going to work. I think it said that it needed 85 horse, and I'm pretty sure that we have got 100 here on the John Deere. So I think that should work. Connecting everything, remembering how to connect everything, that's another story entirely. The last time I did this, I was at Coop's, and that's been a couple years. But he did show me how to do it, so I'm going to be tested again on my memory. See if we can hook this up here. There's that. There's the PTO. All right. Now the moment of truth. We'll see if we did everything right or we have to figure this out. I think that's right, though. We'll come back out here. That way when we extend everything, we're not going to break anything or have it hit the baler. We cannot afford to affix anything on this farm. We can barely afford to run this farm. Now with the decisions that we have in front of us today, I'm not really sure if we're going to have any more money to run this farm. So, and that's a joke, sort of, but it's not. It's something that we really have to be serious about because it really depends on what kind of barn and what kind of tractor we get in terms of how much more money we have left for chickens. And we still have to buy the food. I might have to find a part-time job here in Elk Mountain. I don't want to yet, but I think that I may have to just to kind of offset all of the money that's going out of our pockets. Because we still need to eat. We still need to keep up on all of our bills as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how much money we have left. But we are windrowing this right now, and hopefully this will be more income for us as we can sell some of the bales that we make. Anyway, I'll throw on the drone. Let's get to that. Let's get some windrowing done. And now all done with the windrowing here, and I'm hoping that that is going to translate to a lot of bales, and I'm hoping that we're able to sell some of those bales. Of course, we're going to need some for bedding for our chickens, but most of it we just want to profit from, and I'm hoping that we're able to do so. Either way, I'm going to set this windrower. Where should I put this? I'm trying to get it out of the way so that we don't hit it with the baler. I guess I'll just put it right here on the side of the road, and then we'll move it after we windrow to fold it up, so if there is a car that comes down, which trust me there won't be, they will not hit that. And honestly, if you don't see that, I'm not really sure what to tell you. But either way, let's get this unhooked, let's get the baler hooked up, and we will start baling our first bales here on this property. I think Coop would be really happy with us, and I'm hoping that I can always say that. Let's just hope that we can sell some chickens, because then we'll be able to stay here, and then we might make ourselves happy too. Who knows? Let's just try to get this baler hooked up, and then we'll get that started.
Of flesh and bone, down where the devil roams, voices calling out to home. I see the sickle and cow, stranger in black coming round, down in the cold dead ground, laying in wait for judgment. How your song at the river, you sinner. Looking for blood. How your song at the river, you sinner. Hounds of hell at the river, coming looking for blood. How your song at the river, you sinner. Hounds of hell at the river, coming looking for blood.
Alright, now approaching 3:30, and we are done. That is a lot of bales in this field. It means that there's going to be a lot of work, but also I'm hoping that it translates to a lot of money as well. That is why we did it. Well, part of why we did it. We also just wanted to see what this land looked like, mowed and taken care of. So everything looks great. What we're going to do is we'll put this over here by the windrower, and then we're going down to Clearwater. We're going to talk to him about a tractor. Like I said, the hydraulics are important, and they come with money. So I know this is going to be expensive as well. But let's park this up, and we will get down to Clearwater Motors. And now down here at Clearwater Motors, and we are about to go in and talk about a tractor. A busy day here today so far. Hey there, Frank. I'm ready to talk tractors.